If your homeschool year is not going as planned, I get you. I 100% understand. Last month was probably the worst start in the past 8 years of homeschooling for us. And now I can say that we've had probably one of the best months ever. And the first thing that I fixed compared from last month to this month that I wish I would have known is having a fluid schedule and an ideal schedule. Like, we've never done it that way. We've always had an ideal schedule, but never a fluid schedule or a list of tasks for us to accomplish every day. So the thing that having the task list has accomplished is that if my little ones are playing, I can just let them play and grab one of my older ones and start working with them. Or if we've got appointments or whatever the schedule looks like and the day is not going quite as planned, it's okay that at 10 a.m. we're not doing specifically this, because as long as we check off everything on our task list for the day, because life happens, we have accomplished all that we needed to accomplish. The second thing is setting goals that are way more realistic rather than, so we school for 20 days, and when I did our goals for the month, I did them for 20 days last month. But this month, I went ahead and I did 15 to 18 lessons, depending on which curriculum, goals. And so it allowed room for like flexibility. It allowed my kiddos to be like, hey, mom, so does that mean if I finish all my 15 lessons by the third week, does that mean that the fourth week I don't have to do this at all? And I'm like, yeah. And so it just allowed room for sick days. It allowed room for birthdays. We had 3 birthdays this month. It allowed room for slow days where it's like, okay, we're not going to get to everything because somebody is sick or whatever the situation is. But not maxing out on your schedule when it comes to your goals is like allowing breathing room in your goals is a must. I set the temperature for our day. So the third thing that like I wish I would have known and just really focused on is that I set the temperature for our homeschool day. So a prayed up, slept well at night, hydrated, homeschool mama can dodge bad attitudes like nobody's business. I mean, like I am taekwondoing these bad attitudes. Like and my energy, how happy or excited or just chill and not irritated by every little thing because I have slept the night before because I didn't stay scrolling my phone, or I read my Bible in the morning. So I'm like, me and Jesus, we right here, or whatever the situation is. But because I had taken that time to be intentional with my mom morning routine and making sure that I'm hydrated throughout the day, I realized that my temperament and all the things and how I show up for the day really does matter. And it really does help for us to have a more relaxed, nice, stress-free homeschool day. If you'd like to see a video on how I do my mom morning routine, I will link that video up above for you. But yeah, definitely recommend a mom morning routine. Before I move on to the next change that I made to help with our homeschool flow, I do want to say that if you mamas are out there looking for help on developing your routines and developing your systems that work and that are specifically unique for your family, click the link in my description or click the link pinned in the comments. And that is my course called Peacefully Present that I created. And this course does a wonderful job of walking through a step-by-step system of creating your own unique routine for your home. So definitely check it out. Now, next tip, being way more diligent about prepping. Like I prepped so much in October that it's been extra. But I mean, homeschool prep, breakfast prep, prepping for my 2-year-olds, prepping clothes the night before, prepping like my Bible, having it set, ready to go in the morning. Just so much prep. Like yesterday, Wendy, thanks today, Wendy, or today, Wendy, thanks yesterday, Wendy, like every single day. So just being diligent about my prepping has really helped our flow. It's like one of the most like ritualistic things, I guess, or structured things that I do is just making sure that I prep and being incredibly cognizant of that, because it really has changed our whole homeschool experience. The next thing that we changed that has really helped our homeschool flow is that we are no longer utilizing TV in our homeschool days. Now, it comes as a shock to me, because I really thought that having TV for my preschoolers was going to be like just this game changer for us and really help us to stick with our schedule and flow and do all the things. But what ended up happening is I guess I was way too reliant on the TV that they just end up destroying my entire house instead of watching TV. And so it just was too unsupervised and they weren't gravitating towards it, and it was just a horrible babysitter. And so instead, I've begun to utilize my older kiddos and having them work one-on-one with my little ones while I work with the other kids, or having a little one right next to me with an activity ready to go, or letting them go play outside. Like those things seem to work better as distractions than the actual TV. Shaka shaka. All right, so the other thing is that has really changed our homeschool flow is that we have physical therapies, speech therapies, pelvic floor therapies. We got therapies, and I pretty much had them on 2 separate days throughout the week, so that I thought, we're only out of the house 2 days throughout the week. Everything is concise. That's really gonna work. But what ended up happening is that they it was those 2 days were just incredibly hectic. And so we didn't really get like a great homeschool day. So I decided to then move everything from the second day, added on to the first day. And so we literally just have one day where we're out of the house from the morning until probably like late in the afternoon. I want to say like 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, we're arriving home. And yes, that day is not a great homeschool day because we're doing homeschool in the car and, there's a lot of distractions, but I just create a very light school expectation on that day. And then I have 4 solid homeschool days throughout the week in which we are actually able to get things done and we don't have to go anywhere. And so definitely being mindful of outside activities and grouping it so that it happens all on one day has really changed how our homeschool has been this month. Now I'm going to quickly go over our November read alouds and talk about our October read aloud. So this past month we read The Witch of Blackbird Pond and we absolutely love this book. I can't recommend it enough. The storyline is just amazing. The lessons, there's so many life lessons in this book, and there's so many just a lot of like challenging Christian type views, I would say, in this book, like in the sense that the Puritans weren't all that great, and just helping to really look at the character behind people and how they can twist things and depending on what the Bible says and stuff like that. I'm trying to not give the book away, but all I gotta say is this is a really good book and I definitely recommend it. The Witch of Blackbird Pond, definitely, it's a good one. That's probably why it has the Newbery Medal Award, because it's good. It's good. Newbery Medal? Yeah. Our next book that we are starting is Johnny Tremaine for next month. So for November, this is going to be our reader, and I'll let you guys know if it's good. Now, my 6th grader read The Sign of the Beaver this month, which he loved. He's read it already. This is not the first time. And so he just quickly reread it. We asked questions and really broke it down literary wise. And he finished off Pocahontas and the Strangers. And he actually ended up liking how this one ended and ended up like feeling bad for her and different things like that. So it's sometimes good to read books about girls. So he actually ended up liking Pocahontas and the Strangers. He also read A Voice of Her Own, the story of Phyllis Wheatley, and he enjoyed this book a lot. So we read it and we had some good discussions. So I definitely recommend this book. This book is not a Sunlight reader. I got it from Amber over at Heritage Mom. This was one of her recommendations and I like it. Next book that he is just starting, so we'll finish it off and I'll let you know how he likes it, is Tolliver's Secret. So we read it. He's been reading it for a week now. So I'll let you know how he likes it. So in addition to Tolliver's Secret, he is also reading Phoebe the Spy this month, as well as the Lois and Clark Expedition. He'll be like one chapter in by the end of the month. Phoebe the Spy is kind of small. And so I'll let you guys know how that turns out for this month. He's also reading What's the Big Idea, Ben Franklin, but I just realized that I actually don't have that book. I have to buy it. Now, my 2nd grader read The Secret Valley this month and she loved it. She also read the 3rd grade detectives book 1. Can't highly recommend, because now she can't stop reading the 3rd grade detectives. She wants all of them and I'm having her wait because the next one is for November's reads. But anyways, 3rd grade detectives, definitely a huge hit. And she also read The Chalk Box Kid, but we don't have the physical book, so she read that. She listened to it on script. So this month she is reading The Paintbrush Kid, which I couldn't find. She's not here for me to ask her, so there's a picture of it. And like I said, she's going to be reading 3rd grade detectives book 2 and Viking Adventures. So that is going to be her last book. She probably won't finish it by the end of this month, but she'll be starting it. So now that you know all the things I wish I would have known at the beginning of this year when we started out, but that have truly changed our homeschool month for the better. If you guys are looking for, aside from the homeschool aspect, the homemaking aspect of being a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, I have a cleaning video talking about our entire cleaning schedule that came out. I'll go ahead and link it right here for you guys so you guys can check it out, and I'll see you guys over there. Until next time, bye y'all.